Hello everyone, I'm Lucy Wang, a postdoc at the Allen Institute for AI. In this presentation, I would like to introduce you to our work, A Bibliometric Analysis of Citation Diversity in Accessibility and HCI Research. This is joint work with Kelly Mack, McDonnell, Dhruv Jain, Leah Findlater, and John Froehlich at the University of Washington. First of all, what is citation diversity? Citation diversity is a measure of interdisciplinarity, or how much a paper is influenced by the work of other disciplines and vice versa. In this paper, we characterize the citation impact and citation diversity of accessibility research published in the CHI and Assets conferences. With this analysis, we hope to help the community better reflect upon the impact of their work. We aim to answer the following research questions. What are the citation patterns of accessibility research published at CHI and Assets? How does accessibility research relate to other computing fields and to fields outside of computing? What are the trends over time, and how are they changing? And how do these patterns and trends compare to other communities in HCI? First, some quick definitions. We refer to outbound citations of a paper as references, and inbound citations as citations. Venue refers to the publication venue, a conference or journal in which a paper is published. Field refers to the field of study of a paper as classified by Microsoft Academic. To answer our research questions, we start with a core dataset of 836 accessibility papers published in CHI and Assets that is released in Mack et al. 2021. In that survey paper, we report common research themes and practices in the accessibility research community. It is also being presented at CHI, and we encourage you to watch that presentation to learn more about the dataset and results. For this study, we extend the core dataset using several bibliographic databases. First, we identify the citations and references for these papers along with publication venues using the Semantic Scholar Research API. We then use the DBLP database to supply normalized venue metadata. Finally, we identify the fields of study of these papers using the Microsoft Academic Graph. We harmonize and analyze the combined output from these three data sources, which includes over 21,000 references and over 30,000 citations for these papers. For comparison, we also analyze the citations and references for papers published in 11 other HCI venues to help us contextualize our results in the broader ecosystem of HCI. I'll now show some select results. First, what are the citation patterns for accessibility research in CHI and Assets? It turns out CHI accessibility papers and Assets papers receive a similar number of citations from other works. CHI accessibility papers receive a median of 23 citations compared to 24 for Assets. What about how accessibility papers relate to other fields? In this bar plot, we show the frequency of different fields among the references of accessibility papers. The most represented field is human-computer interaction, followed by other computing subjects such as multimedia, World Wide Web, artificial intelligence, and speech recognition. As we go further down the list, developmental, cognitive, and social psychology are well represented. Even further down, medical subfields like audiology, physical medicine and rehabilitation, physical therapy, and gerontology are also represented. The second bar plot shows the results of the same analysis performed over citations instead of references. Although we see similar fields represented among citations, a larger relative proportion of citations come from the most represented subfields in computer science. This was just a small sample of our results. In the paper, you can also find a description of how we constructed our dataset, an analysis of publication venues represented among the references and citations of accessibility papers, temporal trends for how different fields of study are represented over time, as well as the analysis of the diversity of references and citations for CHI and Assets and various other HCI publication venues, which we measure by computing the Leinster-Kobold Diversity Index. Here are the key takeaways for this work. Accessibility papers are predominantly influenced by other work in accessibility and HCI, though they also draw influence from other fields like psychology and medicine. The citation diversity of accessibility papers is increasing over time. Finally, CHI and Assets are complementary venues for publishing accessibility research. CHI is a broader venue that publishes work influencing a greater diversity of other fields, and Assets is a targeted venue with a greater focus on accessibility. Authors will find different benefits from publishing in both venues. Thank you for your time. To learn more about how we constructed our dataset and performed this analysis, please read our paper or visit this GitHub link.